Welcome back, everybody. It's really starting to feel very let them eat cake outside in America right now. And the kind of inequality that we're seeing is really just kind of highlighted by the fact that this administration, in all their wisdom, decided to throw a Great Gatsby themed party. You're going to have a Great Gatsby themed party while all the economists out there are saying that the American people are in not just a cost of living crisis, but an existential crisis. It's like a cost of living apocalypse. Like, how do you even conceptualize that, right? That's like having a Titanic themed party. Well, at the same time, everybody outside the party is just in the water freezing to death. Like, you've got families in America right now that are sharing a can of beans for dinner like it's the Great Depression 2.0, electric boogaloo. At the same time, you've got Eric Trump at this party talking about, the magic of the jazz age. The age where everybody was broke, just kind of drinking bathtub gin. Is honestly, it's kind of the perfect metaphor for 2025 because this is what it comes to. The ruling class cosplaying as a literary warning. Like they're not even pretending anymore, right? It's like they read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald and were like, these people sound like a lot of fun. Like they missed the entire point of the entire book. The book was written as a tragedy. It wasn't an Etsy mood board. This is like reading 1984 and deciding that you want to open up an amusement park called Big Brother Land. Right? It's just, how do you miss it? How do you miss it so far? Like you got Melania in a sequenced flapper dress, while at the same time you got Don Jr. up there pretending like he's playing a trumpet while some hedge fund guy explains to him why rent across the United States should be $5,000 a month. Like the people outside the gates of Mar-a-Lago can't even afford chicken thighs at the store. And inside they're talking about how poverty just seems kind of retro these days. I remember a few years back when there was, I think it was like Diesel Jeans came out with like a work-worn set of jeans that cost thousands of dollars. It's that kind of level of dystopia that we're witnessing normalized in America right now. Like this whole thing is happening while the American middle class is dying in real time. Like actually dying. Like not a metaphor. Like, it's like a nature documentary. It's like you've got David Attenborough. He's like, here we are, the American consumer, stripped of all dignity and wealth as he migrates to the nearest Dollar General for sustenance. And meanwhile, they're on Fox News, like talking about why young people can't buy a house. It's like, well, Janet, we can't buy a house because we can't afford a house. Because a house now costs what an education used to cost. And the only thing that we're left to actually invest in if you're under 75 years old is anxiety. But back to Gatsby, because that's the most psychotic part of this entire thing. You know what The Great Gatsby was really about, right? It's about how wealth is empty. It's about the illusion of success and how people who are so obsessed with status that they eventually, inevitably destroy everything around them. So naturally, Trump's team goes, let's make a party about it. This is what I mean when I say that America isn't a real country anymore, or at least it's not a serious country. Like it has serious power. The people are seriously dumb, but they're not really serious people, but the consequences of their actions are serious. But it feels just like a theater production with no intermission. Like you just got to go to the bathroom, but you just can't. Like the elites are just reenacting the fall of Rome, but just they have better lighting and better costumes. And you know what? As far as the party goes, I thought the decor was absolutely incredible, right? Golden chandeliers, gold everywhere. Golden chandeliers made of little tiny dollar signs, right? A fake little bread line outside just for ambiance, where the waiters hand out hors d'oeuvres that are shaped like eviction notices. Like it's not ironic, right? It's just dystopian performance art. Like we're literally living inside of a TikTok filter called late stage capitalism. Like I'm watching the footage and strolling because of course there's going to be footage, although it's surprisingly limited, which makes me think that they confiscated a lot of the phones, or they just didn't take very much video because they didn't want the world knowing that they're rubbing shoulder to shoulders with some of the most grotesque people on the planet. But that's how the end comes now, right? Not with a bang, but with an Instagram reel. It's like you got Instagram influencers in Florida who are doing the Charleston as the Dow Jones kind of plummets into the ocean. Because I'm watching this and I'm like, they don't even try to hide it anymore. And the truth is it's because they don't have to. It's because they know that you're just going to scroll past it. Like we're going to see billionaires in flapper costumes and we'll just look at it and say, wow, that's dystopian. And then we're going to go ahead and order some DoorDash that we can't even afford. Because that's the magic trick of a modern America right now. The entire collapse of this country is televised, right? It's monetized, it's algorithmically boosted, but nothing is done. We used to burn down palaces. Now we just make memes about them. Here's kind of the real kicker about this whole thing is that Gatsby dies in the end, right? New spoiler alert here in case you haven't read this classic novel. But Gatsby ends up dead floating in the pool, and everybody who is at the party just kind of moves on to the next party. And that's really symbolic for the times, because that is what the American dream is. The American dream is dead, floating face down in the pool, and the people who killed it are just doing the Charleston on the deck. And the punchline to this, of course, is that we're going to watch season 2, right? If this was a show, we would watch season 2, because to live in America right now is just kind of watch the collapse of America through a Ring camera. Like, we know it's our home, but we're kind of detached from what's happening outside because it's still on our phone. Like I said, the entire thing feels very dystopian. You have 20, 30, 40 million people right now who are living in one of the most uncertain times of their life, not knowing if they're going to be able to eat for the next however long after their food benefits are cut. And at the same time, you have the mega rich, the mega influential, the most powerful people on the planet, snorting lines of the finest caviar and seeing who has the next best Little St. James Island that the after party is going to be at. Ladies and gentlemen, the entire thing is a shit show. America right now is a shit show. And the lack of self-awareness that comes from the most powerful people in the country. Listen, here's the thing. They're not self-aware. They're completely understanding when it comes to what's happening. The truth is they just don't care, right? Because you should have done better. Although these people have never worked a day in their life, never actually had a job, most of them born with a kind of wealth that you could only dream about, they're going to tell you that you should work harder, and that if you're homeless, it's because you didn't work hard enough. So if you're sitting here thinking that, well, you know, it's only a matter of time before French Revolution 2.0, Electric Boogaloo, happens in the United States, I would have to agree. I'd have to say, at some point, I mean, are Americans just really that weak-willed that they're able to watch their country just absolutely collapse while the robber barons who are in charge, whether they're the politicians, whether they're the technocrats, whether they're the CEOs and the shareholders, live at large, you know, living their best lives while hundreds of millions of Americans don't know if they're actually going to be able to have food next week. I've long said on this channel that it's wealth disparity that's probably one of the greatest issues of the modern age. We've heard people call these modern times the Gilded Age 2.0. And it does feel like that, doesn't it? When the people are getting poorer and poorer, and now we have what, health insurance is hopping up 100%. People can't feed their kids, but at the same time, Baron Trump makes $150 million overnight because he has a little bit of information about the tariffs before it actually gets out. Nothing happens. The president doubles his net worth since the beginning of the presidency, which was only months ago. And the regulations and safeguards that are meant to protect workers are being hatcheted away, while at the same time we're seeing hundreds of thousands of layoffs due to AI, and AI cannot be questioned, which was in the big beautiful bill. This entire thing's just coming down, right? Like, you have to agree with that. I mean, does it feel like we're in a golden age? For who? No one that I know, and I know people on a wide scale of financial circumstances, and the only people who seem to be doing well are the people who have been doing well for a very long time. Rural America is collapsing. The agricultural sector is a nightmare. Scott Bessent came out on CNN and said, you know, well, there's a lot of different financial sectors in America right now that are actually in a recession. And the guy just looks like Will Ferrell from The Other Guys. And now that I thought about that, I just cannot unsee it. But no, the wealth disparity in this country is insane. It's unhinged. It's unchecked. And it's going to be unchecked for the foreseeable future. And for the people out there who are like, oh, you know, you're just another unhinged liberal, right? Democrat. No, the Democratic Party is full of fucking vampires too. We can't trust any of them, right? Now, are both parties the same? No, I'm not saying that. But they're both filled with greedy dirtbags. So, I mean, inevitably, it comes at the cost of the people, as it always has, and it always will. Because, like I said, this is late stage capitalism, and this is just how the world works right here, right now. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're still here and you're not at Mar-a-Lago nursing a sweet, sweet hangover, give us a like and subscribe. Think about becoming a member. Think about giving a glorious donation to the channel. For all of those who've given donations, all those who've become members, thank you very much. You are very appreciated. I didn't get to go to the Mar-a-Lago party. Unfortunately, I know. They wouldn't invite me. Instead, I got to sweat my ass off dressed as Julius Caesar, upstairs in my living room as I waited for the little pint-sized nihilists to come knock at my door so I can get them candy so they won't burn my house down. But tell me what you think, right? Do our glorious and supreme leaders, right, do they deserve that kind of party? Isn't that just them letting off some steam? Or does it really highlight the wealth inequality in this country right now and the lack of empathy that is held by those most powerful people in our country? How out of touch they are. Tell me what you think. Let's have an argument about it in the comments section. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a good one. Take care.